Gravity knows my name. Been packing a punch since the very first day I tried to fly. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Gravity knows no blame, so I pack up a lunch and try again 7 times. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. It's so sad, little owl, little I know nothing if I think I know everything. Know nothing if I think I know everything. I know nothing if I think I know everything. Know nothing if I think I know everything. I know nothing if I think I know everything. Know nothing if I think I know everything. I know nothing if I think I know everything. Know nothing if I think I know everything. I know nothing if I think I know everything. Know nothing if I think I know everything. I know nothing if I think I know everything. Know nothing if I think I know everything. Oh, it's so sad, little owl, little owl.
Love it. Love it. Hello, and welcome to the Pink Sofa Hour. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So nice to see you here today on this fine Saturday. Please, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Amazing.
The Frail Talk themselves.
Here we are. We're Frail Talk.
Frail Talk.
Yeah, we live in Fort Collins, so we're swinging down the road to be here in Boulder today. And my name is Alex.
My name's Core.
I'm Tobias.
And
Amazing.
yeah, we're Frail Talk.
Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So the first release you guys had as Frail Talk was way back in 2020, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
How has the band changed since then? How did you guys get started?
Oh, the origin story is a little bit back and forth, but I had a project called We Are Forests, and it was like a singer-songwriter type project. And then Alex and I started playing some shows together, and we realized it kind of felt like a separate thing. And we had a couple other band members join in.
So
Tobias
writing a lot of songs
wasn't
together.
one of those band members at the time. Our friend Richie played drums, and our friend Harrison played an upright bass.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very different.
Very different.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very
I
different
love the
feel.
upright bass.
Yeah, me
It
too.
was fun.
Yeah, but now, yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
evolved a lot.
we started the project at the very beginning of 2020, and we're gonna go out and play shows right before the pandemic hit, and so we ended up just sort of doing the opposite of playing shows and just hid in our bedrooms and wrote music. And so that first record that we put out was all written and recorded during the pandemic. Just early explorations of our sound, started bringing Tobias in and playing drums and writing together. So
But even before that, we recorded, I think the 2020 release was Open Up the Curtains.
Yeah.
Which was like a...
That's the very first one on
the
Spotify. At
very
least,
first
yes.
one. And that didn't have Tobias on it.
Yeah.
And that was not on the album, the New Creation Myths album.
There's a different
right?
version
So
of it.
Sneaky is. It's called Ouch on the album.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Slowed
Yeah.
down version.
It's like we recorded 2 versions of it, and then we actually ended up putting it out a second time on the album, and it's called Ouch. It's the final track on the
I
album.
like how you spelled ouch.
Yeah.
There. It's
With a T.
not a standard spelling of ouch.
Yeah.
It's
This
like
is
a
true.
W and a T.
Yeah.
This is
And
true.
the U, it's like O-U-W-T-H-C-H.
O-U-T.
So it
CH.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
actually like stands for open up the curtains, and then,
And then H.
I don't know
yeah.
what the H came from.
So, yeah.
Okay.
The secrets
That's the
are
lore.
coming
I
out.
know.
I'm-
This is
I'm
the
here
first
for
place
it.
that the secret's ever been revealed. So
Wow, now
There
the
you
whole
go.
world knows.
exclusive.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me.
course.
That song that you guys opened up the program with was called Little L.
Little Al.
Little Al.
So Al is my nickname. It's what a lot of people call me, and that song is sort of an exploration of self. But a lot of people think I'm saying owl or L, and it's kind of fun having it be mysterious. But it's
That's fair,
really-
and you guys are welcome to keep your mysteries
Oh.
if you must.
Of course.
If you feel like you don't want to reveal anything that
We have,
is
our
secretive.
pockets are large, so the mysteries are infinite.
Large
Infinite.
pockets. Great name for a band.
Wow.
I think I understood it as Little L, the letter, because one of my favorite Jamiroquai songs is Little L. I don't know if
Oh,
you guys
no.
like Jamiroquai, but
I don't know that.
he's got a good one,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Cool.
it's more of a recent release, but
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
it's fun. Where did the name Frail Talk come from?
Good question.
Um,
Pretty random.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think I also really love the fact that it's 9 letters and you guys have that like 3-letter per line thing that just makes
It's
so
very
much sense in a
satisfying.
weird, satisfying way. It's
Yeah.
like a crossword puzzle.
Yeah,
but
it's like a grid. The
Yeah.
the 3x3 is really nice.
It's really fun
Um,
to hear why people think we're called Frail Talk, like the
Yeah,
stories
why do
that
you think we're
people
called Frail?
come up with.
oh boy. Okay, I got it. Well, I find that, and I was going to mention something about this earlier. The music is very vulnerable. It's very candid and honest, and it feels like you're speaking in a way that vulnerability and frailty don't necessarily correspond like that all the time. But in fact, being vulnerable can lead to being less frail because you say things that are frail, but you feel strong when you say them.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like sometimes listening to your guys' music gives me the feeling like I'm getting like a soft hug in a way is how it sounds kind of sonically. It reminds me a little bit of Edward Sharpe.
Oh,
Magnetic Zeros.
Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely has that vibe.
That's
I
great.
love that.
And also shout out to a previous Sofa guest, Satellite Friend, who also has music that has
Yeah.
sort of a similar sort of taste behind it.
Nice.
So
Um,
that's my take. I don't
That's
know.
it? That's
I
the
was,
pitch?
That's it. Yeah, you nailed it. I was in the shower, and that's where all the magic thoughts happen.
Oh.
And I had never thought of the 2 words together, and I like thinking of things that feel complementary, but perhaps are like opposites, or and I thought of the idea of like very much that, like those quiet conversations that end up being a lot more meaningful. And yeah, that's there are more mysteries, sure, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinite meaning.
Infinite meaning.
Infinite me.
I liked your take on it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
do
a
like
good
your take.
One of the
That's
better
good.
ones I've heard.
That me too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I like to think about band names
Yeah.
and song names.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
feel like I will know that I'm gonna like a song just based off the name sometimes.
It's good song titles are so fun.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why we all
Yeah.
love Sufjan, right?
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, somebody else
Most
I was
bizarre
gonna
song
mention.
titles.
Yeah. The infinite song names.
Infinite Meaning, also another great band name. I'm writing all these down. This is just a secret way to
yeah.
develop my own band
Yeah.
idea.
Steal our
criteria.
ideas.
You take it all.
So,
It's all public domain now.
you know, I want to hear a little bit about your experience going into this project and probably, you know, very excited to go out and play some shows and then immediately everything shutting down and having to switch gears and how that might have contributed to your creative process, because I think that, you know, based on the criteria of how it is that you named the band and the feelings that were happening all around that time, there must have been sort of a bit of a creative impulse to kind of transmit some of the stuff that was going on at that time.
Yeah, we're pretty mousy folk. Alex and I in particular. Tobias, I would say, is a little more outgoing than us. But yeah, we had scheduled a 20 or so date tour. Like the shows, we're gonna play 20 shows in a row from over the course of like 1.5 months, starting in March of 2020. So it was very much, for me, like the biggest tour that I'd ever scheduled, DIY still, with a lot of amazing people that I was really excited to play with. A lot of kind of really wonderful things, and I think that was like kind of me coming out of my shell a bit, starting to talk about my own sort of smallness and how I felt small, but how I wanted to feel like myself. So that transitional point from like being a singer-songwriter to like having a band was supposed to be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna get on the road, we're gonna figure it all out and find out who we are. We have a set of songs that are, I don't think like we've recorded very many of them except for maybe Sunday Dreamin' even, and Pining maybe. But yeah, it's kind of this, and I think what ended up happening was we just ended up reverting into ourselves a lot more once the whole world reverted into itself.
Of course, yeah.
And
It was such an interesting time because I think a lot of people who were on the fence about their own musical ambitions saw it as an opportunity to really dive in
Yeah.
and take that time to
Yeah.
explore where it is that they
Yeah.
felt like they fit into
Yeah.
their own sort of like musical sound or other people around them sound.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of really good music came out of that horrible time,
Totally.
Yeah.
ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that it really highlighted what sort of things you look to for support as a musician. Like, you know, of course, some of these more bands that had already achieved success were able to ride that wave and make music at a high quality and put it out because of the resources that they had.
Of course.
But being
Like Chromeo.
right.
I don't know if you guys know about that.
Oh, I do know about Chromeo.
So goofy.
It's like rollerblades in a song.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
what it reminds me of.
Hey Tobias, I have a very special job for you. I apologize for interrupting this lovely conversation. And it's a little embarrassing for me, but would you please turn off my air conditioner?
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is real.
It's-
Who do I need to beat up?
It is a very special job. He is taking care of it, and he will be rewarded later in the program.
I think I did it,
Yeah, it'll take a second. As long as it's set to
Okay.
off, it
I love
should
it.
be good to go.
and I'll catch you real quick.
Yeah.
Tobias is how you pronounce
Tobias.
it.
Yes.
Thank you. Not Tobias.
Nope.
Very good.
But
Swedish.
honorable
Ooh,
mention.
Honorable mention.
like that. So you mentioned mice, being
Yeah.
mousy. I think mice are really, really fascinating creatures.
I used to have pet mice when I was a kid. I loved mice. I still do. I'm not very afraid of mice.
What were their names?
My first pet mouse was named Squeaker, and my
Classic.
sister's mouse was named Peanut. And Peanut, at some point in the journey, attacked Squeaker and
No.
killed him.
No.
And so I had a funeral for Squeaker in my backyard. Buried him.
Wow. What happened to
That's your
Peanut?
origin story.
I just loathed him until the day that he died, but he lived a long mouse life.
He didn't
Yeah.
go to mouse jail.
I wanted him to, but my sister was too attached.
Dang. The actually, this is a fun sort of question. I'm gonna just dive into. Do you guys have any childhood pets that you want to mention apart from Squeaker, of course?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Squeaker.
I had a tortoise. His name was Squirt, which was ironic because he wasn't around water ever. And he literally ran away. He
How did
didn't.
he get out?
He
The turtle ran away.
He was a tortoise,
A
so
tortoise.
he was a land creature. We had we had like a patio in the condo I used to live in California, and in the summers we'd just let him roam around in this little corral. It's like made of bricks, and
Oh
he
my
pushed the
God.
bricks over and just walked out.
Well, strong.
He's very strong, very determined. Because he did it twice actually.
You found him the
We
first
found
time.
him the first time. We
Wow.
put up posters, everything, and the second time I was like, I don't think he wants me anymore. So I just let
Posters.
him. We had like coyotes and stuff next to our little. I saw a
Oh,
bobcat
dang.
once, and I was like, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
He wants that life. He wanted the life on the road.
Belong to the streets.
Yeah,
Wild
he's a
life.
street turtle now.
Yeah.
Tortoise.
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 Street tortoise. Yeah, much like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, Tobias, I hope that your story is tragic.
Yeah.
Everybody here has a tragic
This one's it's
backstory.
pretty tragic.
Oh God.
My sister and I had hamsters, and
All
um,
atypical pets so far.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yeah.
cats, no
That
dogs, just
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Let's ride this out.
We had two fuzzy little blonde hamsters, and she named hers Nibbles, and I named mine Cuddles, and I don't know why we chose those names
Nibbles and
exactly.
Cuddles. I know
Okay.
exactly
But they were-
why you chose those.
They were
names.
cute. They were cute and nibbly and cuddly.
Oh my gosh.
And then we
Uh-oh.
both ended up being allergic. Every time we cleaned the cage, our whole family would have like an allergy attack.
Oh no.
And so it was like fun for the first few weeks, but then we realized that this wasn't going to be sustainable. All of us loathed cleaning the hamster cage, even with like gloves and
Yeah.
whatnot. So we ended up giving them away to two separate families. We split up Nibbles and
Oh,
Cuddles, and they both
no.
died of loneliness.
What?
Wow.
Shit.
They both died like
Are you serious?
within a week of us splitting them up.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Tragic.
That's good.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
You,
I was not expecting such a
Yeah.
heavy
me
So there you
neither.
go.
childhood pet story
Thanks
from
for-
each of you.
Thanks for talking about our pets.
All,
Yeah,
all
this is
you
why we
in
make
your own
sense.
way.
That's why we're called Frail.
That's it. We
my
found the
God.
origin story.
I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm glad you confessed that terrible story. That's sad.
It's all on the table
Yeah.
now.
I
Yeah.
didn't know this about either of y'all.
Yeah, you too.
Fourth child.
This is something I enjoy diving into with bands, is asking questions that allow them to like discover things about each
Oh,
other.
Yeah.
fun.
It's I think one of my favorite little quirks about this show.
Yeah.
So the project that you had started before Frail Talk was called We Are Forests.
Yes.
Cool. I kind of like that name.
Yeah. It's now my ambient project. So I basically was making like ambient singer-songwriter music. It was like ambient folk basically. Then I realized that it wasn't. I just wanted to what I really wanted to do was make ambient music.
Like
And,
Bon Iver.
yeah, kind of like lyricless, like more instrumental.
Gotcha.
Than Justin Vernon's business. Yeah,
Is that
but
his real name? Justin Vernon?
Justin Vernon.
I should have known that.
Yeah.
Well, now I do.
Yeah.
Now
There
you
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learn all the time.
I've got him like right here
He's
somewhere.
got so many projects too.
Yeah.
That silly lad.
He's a silly lad, but like man, he makes some really
that's such a
powerful
good one.
stuff.
Blood Bank.
Yeah.
Blood Bank's
Yeah.
a powerful
We've-
one.
Yeah, this one hits real hard.
We've
Yeah.
played Blood Bank together a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
It's been
Beautiful.
a while.
Um,
I'm gonna listen to it after you guys leave.
It's
that
such a
sounds
good,
great.
such a good.
Yeah, but the idea of We Are Forest is kind of about like collectivity, connectivity, collectiveness.
Yeah.
It's like it is all one word too. So the idea of like spacelessness.
Were forests.
Were forests,
Were
yeah.
forests.
Some people think it's were forests, and I'm like, that's way cooler,
Ooh.
like a werewolf, but a forest.
Like a person that turns into a
Wow.
tree when the
Into
moon
a
comes
tree.
out.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is a cool idea.
That's pretty
like
sweet,
that.
actually.
It was a fun
Very good call.
project for sure. I liked it a lot, but I was always sad at bars. It's like was the vibe. Like I was just playing alone at a bar and was
Beautiful
infinitely sad.
experience.
I did two tours, both of which was just pretty much by myself, and it's a lonely gang. Yeah,
It's powerful to live in those emotions, you know. It takes
It
a
is.
particular
yeah,
sort of almost resilience to like
yeah,
tuning into that
Yeah.
emotion and having that sort of somberness to
totally.
be able to like transmit it, you know.
And it worked, but then you just end up being sad all the time. And I don't know. I just would rather feel all of the spectrum of emotion. So it was really nice to transition out of just like playing like little sad boy music.
I think like what gives this project so much of its life is like the relationship that we all have with each other and the communal aspect of making music with people we're really close to. Our bass and banjo player Nate Riley, we're all just really dear friends, and I think that gives a lot of life to what we do.
And the emotional breadth of it all too. Yeah.
I don't think I saw a banjo player when I saw you guys play. Is this a recent addition?
He
I don't remember if he was at that show
he
or
wasn't
not.
at that show. He's
But-
been
The
around
atrium.
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, we morph forms a lot. So the fullest of our band presence is with Nate, but
Yeah.
we're all busy with other projects
Yeah,
too.
he's-
So
he
it's
has
not
he
always
has his
the four of
own
us.
entire project, and Tobias plays in like 17 bands. So.
Well, that's just drum life.
Yeah.
That's how that is.
Yeah, I didn't choose drum life, it chose me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say that with We Are Forests, that was the project that Cora was playing in when I met them,
That's true.
and it was
Yeah.
we were out
Oh yeah.
on Lady Moon hiking trail in Red Feather, and our
Ooh.
friend
So-
Harrison who played
Who
bass.
ended up playing bass. He
Yeah.
he orchestrated all these things for this organization that is called
Sustain Music in
Sustain
Nature.
Music in Nature.
Great organization,
And-
they're
Love
now
that.
based out
Yeah.
of
Colorado.
North
Used to be.
Carolina.
North
Is he in
Carolina.
North
I
Carolina?
don't
Connecticut.
remember.
Connecticut, something like that.
They
Interesting.
moved.
East
Yeah.
Coast.
Somewhere over there.
He's on the East Coast now.
But yeah, that's
and
where
still
the
doing
three
music.
of you all
We
met.
met, yeah, because Tobias was playing with another band called Whippoorwill, and
That's a great name.
yeah,
That's a good
sorry.
name.
no,
So
good
good.
good names all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very kind of serendipitous thing.
Yeah.
So you guys met on the East Coast.
No,
No.
we did meet in
That
Colorado.
that organization started in Colorado.
in Colorado.
and
Then
Oh.
he moved to the East
Yeah.
Coast.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
confusing.
Yeah.
Well, how
yeah.
did you guys all meet? I feel like that's
That was how
that's
we-
always a good
That's
question.
how we
to
That's
met.
how we
dive
Yeah,
into.
so we met on
Yeah.
on that, like playing I think it was called a sagebrush session. It was
Yeah.
like a session outside, and we met, and I was just playing a solo, and Tobias was playing with another band, and then we just kind of kept around each other.
How long ago was that?
I think that was like 2019. I was on crutches
Yeah.
because I had partially torn a ligament in my knee.
Oh.
So a bunch of people were carrying my equipment out to this field,
Including me.
Yeah.
and Core helped with that. Yeah,
I think-
helped lug some gear.
Cora and I also met in like 2019,
Yeah.
just through mutual friends in the Fort Collins music scene, and
Yeah.
started just meeting up to play and write together, and
Mhm.
had like a very quick musical connection.
Yeah.
And pretty shortly after that, I met Tobias just through lots of mutual artist friends. The Fort Collins scene is really, really interconnected. It's
I
very
love the
supportive.
Fort Collins scene.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody that's there working in that town just has a great sense of taste, is really hardworking and earnest about like wanting to do music as a career, and the coolest part is that people are paying attention to that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's that similar energy here in like Boulder or in Denver, but it's hard for people to feel encouraged and validated in their ambitions to do that without like the venues that want to book them,
Yeah.
without like people showing up to their shows.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's the thing about what I've seen is every time I've gone up to Fort Collins, it doesn't matter like where I walk into, what like random bar has like a band on that is just awesome. Like there's people there
That's true.
like enjoying it, and like I assume that they're probably getting paid. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
not every time, but
Yeah.
That is
at least the venues are taking that
true.
risk to like let people out and do their
Definitely.
thing, you know?
Yeah. Lots of
Yeah.
support.
it's a great scene. I think that's how ultimately we all met, was because of the sort of little strength of the Fort Collins music
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
It's very supportive, like highly supportive
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, which you don't find everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's a really special thing. It's why we're all still there ultimately.
Yeah. And you know, that's part of why I'm so grateful that you guys are here down in Boulder
thanks
today.
for having
Yeah.
us.
I think that bringing that energy and, you know, even just showcasing how much, you know, appreciation you have for that scene in front of other musicians
Yeah.
who might not have that same sort of experience with their local scene lets them know, like, hey, there's places and people out there that appreciate what's
Totally.
going on,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't
Just
seem
have to
in
look
media.
for the right people there.
Mhm.
I think they're in every scene too, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like searching for people that care and care about each other and care about, you know, community health, and not just being the next cool band, you know, but really caring about the people around you. They're there. Just gotta look for them.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So I have a question that I like to ask as a segue into a second performance, if you guys
Cool.
are so
Yeah.
inclined. What is, individually, your favorite song to play in the Frail Talk?
Ooh.
This one's one of those that
Ooh.
reveals stuff about each other.
That's a
I haven't
great
I haven't
question.
seen anyone squabble about it yet. But I have seen people be like,
We'll probably fight.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get into a fist fight.
I've got some boxing gloves.
I
I'm
have
always
no
ready.
idea what kind of words you just said.
They're pink.
They're pink worms.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Who's going first?
I really like Little Al, the one we just played, but that's like one that we've been playing for a while, and recently we'll probably get to this later, but we were just in a studio session for a week, and I got to play this awesome drum part to a new song that I'm not even gonna say the name of it, but you guys know what I'm talking
I
about,
think
right?
so, yeah.
Yeah. I know
And
what you're talking about.
and it's just a sweet driving beat, and I think that the emphasis just gets me in all the right places. And,
Sort
it's
of
a
like, yeah, it's a
beautiful
newer
tune.
song. It's a little different than some of our earlier stuff.
Yeah, and so maybe it's just that new song excitement that I'm loving right now, because we actually haven't played it live.
Yeah, I don't know how to yet.
And I couldn't do it with this style of kit
No.
either, but
Yeah, that's a
I
good
I
like
think
that
that's
song.
gonna be a favorite
It's a good
It's fun.
answer.
going
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. Sneaky answer.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that.
Your answer is I like to play a song.
A song. There's a song. Maybe you'll hear
That's
it
a
one
good
day.
I love playing. We have a song called Mercury and Me,
Mm.
and I get to do some like ambient business. So it's one of my favorites because every time the ending is just a little bit different, which makes it really fun. It like has a similar similar resolve, but I always end up being able to do something a little different, and that sort of improvisational moment is really important to me throughout any set, but particularly that song is just, it also is really fun. It's like our slowest, most open song,
Mm.
and that it also makes me feel like I'm playing
Mm.
my like ambient folk music again.
Mm.
So
I think one of my favorites lately, I feel like it changes a lot, which is my favorite to play. But lately, a favorite has been one that we'll play today called Triangulate. And it's also a slightly newer track. And I think the reason that this one I enjoy so much really has to do with the lyrical content and the like emotions that I walk through while playing that song. It really brings me into the present moment, and invites me to confront a lot of things in myself. And I feel like I always have a different experience internally when I play this song. And that's definitely been my favorite the last few shows in this song.
Cool.
We'll play that. Maybe we could do that one.
yeah, we should do.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. Let's do Triangulate.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do a little switcheroo.
Get that little switch going.
Ready?
Yeah, on 3.
Okay. Oh, I should check the tempo too.
72. Squaring up with myself, just to circle back around and triangulate the sound. Squaring up with myself, just to circle back around and triangulate the sound. Pardon me, I wasn't mindful. Suddenly it's been a good day. Didn't mean to feel so awful, but it's okay. I'm okay. Squaring up with myself, just
Oh, that's one of those that just ends right on the spot, right as I'm trying to start doing a video.
Surprise!
Dang it. Okay,
Surprise ending.
that's all right. That was delicious. Thank you.
Of course.
I really enjoyed the harmonies. Well, it's kind of unison, but still harmonizing on the same note.
Yeah.
It takes the two different voices, and you guys blend really well
Thank
when
you.
you sing together. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
It's really fun getting to play with switching back and forth so much between melodies and then two-part harmonies and then Tobias's harmony coming in and
Yeah.
unison. I think voice is like a real major part of this project.
For sure.
Oh my gosh,
Play
yeah.
with vocals.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating how much you can say with each part of what voice does. Like, yes, you can pick a note, and a note's going to have a certain sort of meaning to it. And then you can also have two people singing the same note or two different notes and harmonizing. But then also sort of like the pronunciation is something that has a big part in particularly, I feel like, this project. Because even if
Yeah.
you had lyrics that were completely different, which obviously the lyrics is another component,
Totally.
you could be saying very different lyrics with the same intention, and I think that they would have a very similar sort of reaction
Yeah.
from people.
Yeah,
You know?
the instrument of voice is really fascinating to me because it's so personal and embodied,
Mhm.
and you can shape it too. It's not, one person could sing many different ways
Yeah.
and convey a different meaning with that.
Yes.
And it's a really powerful instrument for that reason because it's coming straight from your body. It holds a lot of emotion.
Yeah. There's so much self-discovery, I think,
Absolutely.
with the voice.
Absolutely.
When you start exploring that for yourself, you start
Totally.
sort of realizing the way that you speak, the way that you kind of sing sometimes, like, is almost kind of letting more things out than you even think or
Oh,
are
yeah.
thinking about.
Definitely.
Right.
We've been talking a lot lately about how gendered and also lack of gendered, like a lot of vocals are in music, and have talked to because I as like a non-binary person, I also see the way that my voice is represented in like a unit very differently. It's kind of cool with this trio because like Tobias is like masculine and you have like a feminine voice, and then I like kind of sit in between these two different spaces.
Mhm.
And it's really cool that we can have this like beautiful blend of vocals that all kind of ends up being in a lot of ways one single voice, and that gendered presentation is like and like I said, lack of gendered presentation is very
There's
important
no
to
rules
us.
for what a masculine voice sounds like
Yeah.
or a feminine voice. Like that's all made up.
It's
and
all
we
like
get to
societal construct.
create that
Yeah.
as we go too.
So that's also really important to the dynamic for sure. Is like the way that our gendered presentation is like going out into the world, and particularly for the newest release, I would say.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, even in the interpretation or from the audience's perspective, being able
Yeah.
to associate or sort of identify with what is being said in the lyrics can be a little bit of a barrier sometimes
Yeah.
when it's like a male voice singing it
Yeah.
or a female voice singing it, but because you have sort of this like togetherness with how it is that you say the lyrics a lot of times, you can hear that it's like sort of androgynous wouldn't really be the word, right?
No,
But
that's a great word.
I like
is it?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's cool to think about in the context of music.
Yeah, it's just human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Exactly.
humans shouldn't,
Yeah.
or music shouldn't have these strict categories. You know, it's art, and it should be
Yeah.
for everybody, which is really special.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
Love
cool.
that.
Big pockets.
Big pockets.
Lots
Large
of stuff in the pockets. So 2021 was a pretty busy year for you guys. You did the big LP, which was New Creation Myths.
Yeah.
Love that, by the way. Really,
thank
really
you.
great title for an album
Oh,
in
yeah.
general. And then you put out some singles before that were sort of leading up to that big release.
Yeah.
And since then, you've been probably playing those songs out in the world.
Yeah.
what led to, I guess, the connection that you needed to make this tour that you were recently on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the tour. What was your favorite stop on the tour?
Oh man,
man.
so good. I think that one of my favorite shows was in Austin, Texas. We've just built some really nice friendships there and
I love
started
Austin.
getting really connected with the scene there.
Yeah.
Always just feel really at home.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had 2 really fun shows back to back in Austin with a lot of friends and really talented
Yeah.
bands. So that was one of my favorite nights just because I felt so like seen and connected and yeah, very at home.
Austin's what I would love, like Fort Collins to turn into
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, it very much feels like
Strong
that.
scene.
Yeah.
That's what-
Except for the housing crisis.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Which,
just
I
avoid
mean,
that.
it's on track.
That's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of my favorite nights.
Yeah, I would say similarly, Austin. We played 2 nights in Austin, which was a really special thing. We got to play with some really beautiful bands, Large Brush Collection, Miss Miranda, or no, what's
Other Vessels.
Other Vessels? That's right. That's what she's been doing.
Was it just the 3 of you on the tour, or
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, just the 3 of us. Yeah,
Bad Luck
Bad
Penny.
Luck Penny, and
Turtle Pond.
Turtle Pond.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
that's-
good bands.
these four bands that were just like, they seemed like they were incredibly, just enmeshed in the local scene and just like really the kinds of people who are, like holding a scene and supporting in a lot of ways, and we love getting into a city and kind of
Yeah.
seeing these different scenes.
So that's like
Yeah.
the best part about touring for me is getting to see what's going on in other cities and the scenes that people are building and
Yeah,
the music that people are making. I always leave a trip feeling really inspired
Mhm.
and knowing that there's other people out there trying to do what I'm doing, you know.
So many other people out
Yeah.
there. It's crazy.
Yeah. it's
Every
really
little
awesome.
town has its own little scene,
amazing,
and
yeah.
it's all got its own little history. It's
Yeah.
exciting to see all that.
Absolutely.
It makes me want to put little pink sofas all over the world.
Oh, absolutely.
It's everywhere.
That's the goal.
What about you, Tobias? What's your favorite show?
I mean, I love Austin so much. I've been touring there since 2016, and yeah, I've made a lot of friends. This fly keeps wanting to Mike Pence me. But I.
He's not a part of this show.
Tried to get him
Supposed
to
be
leave.
here.
No one invited
But
him.
yeah,
Friends.
aside from Austin, I really liked Arcata, and it surprised me. I knew it was going to be a cool little thing,
Where's
but
that?
it's on the coast, Northern California, and
Mhm.
Al actually spent some time up there last year.
Yeah, that's actually the town that I wrote Little Allen, that song
Oh.
for song we played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got to this town, and I had no idea what to expect. I knew it was a little DIY venue, and it was right in the downtown square, small little like hole in the wall, with just really kind folks welcoming us and a little built-in crowd, and we felt so welcomed and played one of the best
It
sets
was
of the
so
whole
fun.
tour because
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
we all felt
The energy was perfect.
accepted
Yeah.
and supported.
Yeah.
And the folks who opened and closed the show for us were also
Yeah.
just incredible. Everyone there just felt really
Yeah.
right.
It's always the people that make the shows
The
with
thing,
there.
yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Mhm.
Music is community
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
in such a pure sort of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So you guys did California. You did Texas,
We were all over. Yeah,
Arizona,
Mhm.
Utah.
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
not really. Yeah, Oklahoma.
We were supposed to play in
Oklahoma.
Utah. Things were kind of
Yeah.
all over the place.
Played a little bit in Oregon and Washington, Southern
Mhm.
Washington.
Yeah.
But we built this whole tour around sort of what we did right in the middle of like the southern and the western legs, which was we spent a week in the studio in East Texas making a new record.
That was going to be
So-
my next sort of point of
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that was the whole, we did like Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, then we were in the studio, and then we went out west. So it was a big month.
So you guys had a bunch of songs ready to go, and so you knew that week in the studio was going to be just getting them all in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, really since we finished working on our first record, we've been writing these songs, and
Yeah.
so for a couple of years we've been playing them and honing them in and really developing our sound, it's come a long way since that first record, and so getting to bring these set of songs to life in the studio is like a real dream come true.
I'm excited about what the album's going to be called.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
New Creationists too.
Yeah.
Newer
2, 3,
Creationists.
4, 5.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I
Even
think
newer.
to piggyback off of what you were saying, it's kind of fun because some of the songs that made it onto the record are songs that we've been playing for 3 years, and then
Right.
some of them were written conceived a little earlier, but like fully formed and
Not birthed yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
they came into their own sort of in the studio.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to have a balance of stuff that we were really comfortable with, and then some stuff that we were like, let's see what happens. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many songs can we expect from this new
A lot.
release? And perhaps also maybe when is it coming?
We don't know that yet.
Yeah, it'll be
We
sort
don't
of
know
a
when
long
it'll-
road.
When it's coming. We have some,
Mastering, mixing kind of stuff.
yeah,
Totally.
there's some stuff, and we've got a lot
Yeah.
of exciting things, but we don't. Yeah, there's a lot of
It's gonna be a big record, a long record, which
Nice.
I'm really excited about.
fewer than 100, more than one.
Okay.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
but yeah, we'll.
I'm scared.
between like 11 and 13.
Yes.
Are there any songs on there that you feel particularly excited about in terms of what went into the creative process, or perhaps
Yeah.
what kind of instrumentation or arrangements you guys did with them?
Totally.
I am really excited. The song that we just played, Triangulate, is gonna be on that new record.
Yeah.
And we actually had a different drum beat from this little chord polka before when we went into the studio that we weren't all really sold on. We felt like something was missing.
Yeah.
And one of the producers we got to work with, her name's Hannah Reed, and she plays in the band Lamelda, and she spent a while like just getting into a little hole with this drum machine and helped us build that last beat we used, the bubbly popping sound.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for that song and
Yeah,
the
me
way that
too.
it changed. Like a small change, but I feel like ended up affecting the emotion of the whole track.
For sure.
So that was a fun moment. I'm excited for that song to live.
Yeah.
I really like that the core of we were talking about this a little bit before we went online. That the core of the sound has so much synth quality to it,
Yeah.
and that the guitar is a nylon string guitar played through a sort of more traditional sort of amplifier.
Yeah.
I think that is, you guys found something really unique, and I'm happy to see that happening, because they're not to rag on any bands that are out there,
No,
but a lot of people stick to like the traditional sort of model around like what music is supposed to sound like.
Totally.
There might be
Yeah.
synths, but it's not like we're gonna use modular synths, like a drum machine with the drums. I can tell that there's a lot of expression in just the choice of instruments with what's going on here, and I think that it shows really well in
That's
general in
awesome.
the music.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like sensibilities between sort of acoustic and electronic elements is like really important to us. Like having drums is like really big. It just feels good because they are such like acoustic things in their like fullness, which is strange because of how they've like become in production. It's like very much like a squeaky clean feel for a lot of things, and it could be like a drum machine just as easily in a lot of production these days. But I think that those sort of like breathable elements are really important to the thing, and then kind of just like fucking that up with like a lot of non-breathable like tank, like it's like a like
There's
for
a lot
me
of
it's like
tension
Yeah.
of like something more synthetic and
Yeah.
something more like natural and
yeah
even like this folk meets pop and indie.
yeah
It's cool to play with those tensions. Yeah.
it's like a submarine.
Sure.
Could you elaborate?
Yeah. It's like you take a submarine that is like a mechanical object, and you put it in like a body of water that is like a non-mechanical thing. It's like the most like natural element, and then you're like surrounded by like water and life and
Things
plant
that
life.
should be in
And
outer space.
yeah.
Entering.
and or like going to outer space, I guess too.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
this.
really glad I asked you to explain that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have figured that out.
Yeah.
That makes sense though.
Submarine. We're a submarine as a band.
Submarine dance.
Submarine the band.
Yeah, another name. idea.
Write it down.
I was like,
Royalty. Yeah, we'll collect the royalties off of these later.
this is gonna be on the website. We're gonna just start a big long list of
I like
names that
that.
people have referenced.
That's great.
I like
Sure.
Take them as you will.
Do you guys have? I think there's one more song you wanted to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could do
I
one or
think we've
two,
got-
whatever.
I think we've got time for two if you wanted to roll straight through.
Yeah.
But I wanted to
Sounds
also
great.
give you an opportunity to mention upcoming shows,
Cool. Yeah.
make any sort of announcements and shout outs, calls to
Yeah.
action that you'd like to make to your friends and to other bands and
Cool.
acknowledgements and all that kind of stuff. So
Amazing.
this is probably a good time to do that.
Yeah. What's next? We have a show in Fort Collins on September 19th at the Lyric in Fort Collins with a touring band called 36. And then we're coming down to Denver in November. We'll be playing a duo show at the Skylark Lounge with the touring band called His. And I think a Denver local named Joe Sampson. And that should be lots of fun. And that's the next two.
Next to
Upcoming.
Biggies. I think there's something in October, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
So
We'll let you know. We are on social media and all the
Yeah.
places.
we made a record.
We made
And
a record. It will
we
come
are-
out at
we
some
are-
point.
New creation mixtape.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like a newer creation.
New
right?
creation.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've been we're probably we love to tour. So if
We'll
you want to take us
probably-
on tour, take us on tour.
Yeah, we'll probably have lots more shows come the turn of the new year.
Yeah,
Lots more
Definitely.
coming up.
yeah, we're just excited. Honestly,
Yeah.
we love playing music.
Yeah.
It was really fun to be on the road for a month too. Big shout out to everyone who made that possible because
yeah.
it was a lot of people, including
Oh, yeah.
everyone who donated to our Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We were really
that was how
lucky
we were able to make the record and
to make the
go
record
on this
through a
trip.
Kickstarter. Yeah,
Endless gratitude.
yeah. Lots of fun stuff with that coming up. There's things in the works. We're working on some cool stuff with our friend Ben Ward, and I want to shout out Ben Ward because he schlepped down to the studio in Texas, and he's a videographer and an incredible friend of ours.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
the shouts.
from my end, you guys have been an absolute pleasure to have on.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
I don't need that anymore. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
of
been so
course.
nice.
I know Scooter's been enjoying it because
Yeah.
this is the most relaxed I've seen him.
Some good
I-
sounds coming.
I-
Big
Yeah.
shouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The aleatoric sounds from Scooter.
Sure, we
love
I would like to
Scooter.
personally thank Scooter for that.
We gotta
Scooter.
sample some of those.
Yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, you know, in the tradition of you guys having opened up the show with a song, I think it would be great for you guys to close it out. So I'm gonna
Cool.
hand over the floor to you.
Awesome.
Do you want to play shape-shifting? Or just
Yeah,
okay.
ended on that one.
That's great.
Love
yeah.
it.
Sweet.
We'll play one more
Play shape-shifting.
as we shape shift on the couch.
Couch shift.
Exactly.
Couch shift.
Ready?
I think so.
Ready? Are you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scooter, you ready?
This is for you, Scooter. We love you.
Thanks again for having us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Big
Thanks,
love
Pedro.
to
How
Scooter.
are you?
We'll talk soon.
2, 3, 4.